There
Well,
we go.
yeah, we're back. It's Thursday. I'm so excited. The weekend is coming. How are you, Sally?
Hi, everybody. Nice to be here today again with this
Everyone, thank
Cindy
you guys.
Cole.
Today we are going to be talking about mindset is the strategy multiplier. What does that mean, Sally? We are here today with Sally Arkel-Bose. She is the mindset master. You have been such a great mentor to me and so many others. And I'm just so excited to talk today about how mindset just elevates everything and really is the foundation for any strategy that you think might work. If you don't have the proper mindset, you won't have the focus and the resilience and the right strategies to make it work. So Sally is going to dive us into that today, and I'm super excited. Thank you, everyone in the
Hi,
comments. Hey,
Melissa. Thanks for joining us. I see a few people popping in
feel
if you're
free
on
to
with
put
us.
comments in, and we'll put them up on the screen. Any questions? This can also be a question and answer session as well.
Yeah, we want to
That's what we're
we
here
want to hear
for.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we want to hear what the things are that are popping up for you along this journey because there are a lot of people that I have worked with over my whole career, not just in my current profession, but in the corporate world as well. And one of the things that I really noticed was how people responded to strategies. And today, I know with the advent of social media, oh my gosh, Cindy, do you not see people selling strategies to us every single day? Like, here's how you get your leads, follow this strategy. Here's how you write a book, follow this strategy. Here's how you get seen, follow this strategy. Here's how you're going to make money,
It's
follow this
actually
strategy.
so overwhelming, honestly, the amount of invitations and noise out there about everything. When there's really an underlying foundation that you have to be successful in any,
Ooh, I love that. Well,
you
and
know
it's
it.
true. And I think part of life experience and business experience can pull into that. But I want to just tell a little bit about what the difference is about the strategy and why we automatically go to strategy when we see something because we think, there's the magic pill. This is what I need today to get me from here to here. And
It's the
typically,
Ozempic.
now I couldn't take that because I'd have to do a needle, and I'm just not that way.
I mean, everybody wants that easier method, right? They think.
Right, yeah. And
Mm.
they also think that that's going to be the solution to their problems. And it might solve one piece of it. But I know from having watched a lot of people try different strategies, especially a lot that are touted online today as the quick fix for your business or the quick fix for your success, the percentage of people that actually take it to fruition and go right through the whole process is very, very minuscule. And so I
Yes.
want to give a few stats just from the corporate world perspective. So one of the things that I recognized when I started into this business that I'm doing now is that there is over $60 billion a year spent in the corporate environment training people to know what they already know how to do.
Hmm.
Okay, so now this sounds a little weird, but
Yeah.
what they don't do is they don't distinguish between what is that top performer doing versus that person that's really struggling, right? And so they're throwing money at things and at people that aren't going to help them to have any more success, but the companies feel that they're offering them what they need. And I know, having been in a corporate leadership role, we were mandated, here's the material you got to teach all of your people that are coming in new or at a certain level. And yet there would be so many people that had no success at all, right? And they wouldn't be able to even implement the strategy with confidence. And so, what it comes back to, what I've discovered over time, because that was one of the things that I was really curious about, why is all this stuff not working for one person versus the next? And
Right.
even with individual coaching, they wouldn't change. Hi, Chelsea. Thanks for joining. Nice to see you again. And so, what I found was that when we were training people, if they didn't have the mindset that they could believe in it and feel confident that they could do that strategy, they wouldn't implement it. They would hide, they would disappear,
True.
they would take
That's
off
such a
from
good
the office.
point. You could give someone all the information in the world, but if they don't feel confident in their core and they don't feel worthy of it, it won't get implemented. They won't take action. That makes so much sense.
It's just like reading a book. Two people can read the exact same book, and one person takes action from it and changes their life, and the other one just doesn't. So this is why strategy does not rule the game. It has
Agree.
to come down to our mindset. And we all have different blocks, right? We all have different things that stop us and prevent us from having our belief in ourselves that we can create something and have that success. And so those are what I call paradigms. But there's also another element in there. We have become so programmed to habitual behaviors
Mm.
that we don't understand how to break those and we just do them automatically. So one of those I was telling you earlier today is when you get out of bed, what do? You typically sit on the same side of the bed every night.
Right.
You roll out, you put on your slippers, you go to the bathroom, you do your thing, you brush your teeth with your right hand, not your left hand.
Right.
You go through the motions. And we are so programmed to just get into this habitual behavior. And when we have to change that habitual behavior, and I'm going to challenge everybody to do this because I've done it recently, is start brushing my teeth with my left hand. Oh my goodness. Does it ever feel weird? Because I've been doing this for how many years? Right? And that's just a perfect example of how we get so accustomed to doing the same thing with the same process habitually every day without any thought. And we do that in so many things in our life. And I want to also ask you, have you ever driven to work or to the store and you get there and you don't even remember anything about what happened on the way?
All the time. That's just completely living on autopilot, which most people do.
Exactly. And so we do that in our businesses and our life as well. So we'll be out there and we'll be seeing all these strategies online today and say, oh, that's the thing that I need. I need to know how to get more leads. So if there's somebody teaching me how to get more leads, I'm going to follow that strategy. And I guarantee you, there's a very small percentage, probably less than 5%, that will actually put that strategy into play.
Right.
And so, when you're thinking about that, Cindy, what have you seen in your experience with
Yeah.
people doing that same thing?
Yes, I mean, it goes back to execution. If you don't have confidence in yourself, you could have all the best strategies in the world. I see this all the time. Why is there a statistic out there about less than like 1% of the population writes a book, but 99% say, I should write a book. I want to write a book, right? Why? It's
Yes.
because some people actually execute. They have confidence, they feel worthy, and sometimes it takes a support or a coach to guide you if you don't know how to follow through. But they already have what is in them. Already is there. I always say they're not broken. There's nothing wrong with them at
You don't need
all.
fixing.
Right, exactly. You just need sometimes the right support to execute something. Otherwise, this is what I've been seeing with so many people is the same things that they told me a year ago, they're still sitting in that exact same position.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Yep.
why? It's a choice. I mean, it is, right? They didn't make the right action moves.
It's a choice, but it's also a programming that we have. So I want to talk a little bit about the conscious and subconscious minds right now, because we have the five senses. I'm just going to use my fingers as if those are my senses, right? The see, sight, hear, touch, feel. Oh, I'm missing one of them.
Nice.
Five senses. And so automatically those come in to our, I'm going to put a line across my eyes here. The top part's going to be my conscious mind. The bottom part's going to be my subconscious. So whatever I put into my conscious mind, my subconscious mind is going to accept as truth. And my body is then going to react and say, okay, yeah, this is the reaction that we take when this truth comes in. But if I don't agree with what's coming in and I choose to change it, as an example, I might say, no, I am attracting the most incredible clients every day, as opposed to putting into my mind, where am I going to find the clients today? I'm
Right.
going to attract the most incredible clients because I just feel that they're waiting for me today. And that changes my physiology. It changes how I react and it changes on what I attract just from my energetic
Exactly.
level.
The clients miraculously show up. When I was in sales, that happened all the time because I was really also always into mindset. And I would wake up in the morning, I'd be like, I'm going to have 3 sales today. Sure enough, 3 sales. Like
Yeah.
literally, when you set your mind to it, you attract the energy.
Yeah, and it's actually a physiological change where your body now emits a certain signal, and it's you what the intuition also kicks in to bring to you exactly what you're believing is possible, right? And that's why mindset is so critical in anything that we do, because it's an attraction piece, and it's understanding that we can override any of those negative thoughts or ideas that we have in our head about it's hard, I'm ugly, all of these things. We can pre-program all of that to be able to get our worth and to get through to that next level. Now, there's a number of other steps along the way, but I'm just going to use an analogy of the movie Rocky. Anybody watch Rocky?
Oh my God, Rocky was my
I mean,
favorite.
we grew up with
Rocky
it.
4 was my favorite. I love Rocky.
My husband actually brought this up last night as we were talking about this concept, and he said, Rocky was really good at what he did, but his coach's belief in him was so much stronger than Rocky's belief that the coach felt for him that he could do better, and the coach was able to bring his ideas and his support to Rocky to have that belief, so Rocky never gave up. Because it's so easy for us when we're struggling to get to that next goal, right? And
True.
falling back and falling back and falling back. But without the coach there to identify that and help you to navigate that big
Yes.
fall to get back on track, that's where the difference lies as well. And so when we're talking about strategies, it's really important to be aligned with people that can see where those strategies need to be shifted, because you're not broken. It just needs a shift. We need to be able to help you to see where it is that there's a challenge there for you as far as getting you to where you truly desire to be, because it can open up all the doors for you.
And I noticed with myself, like if a thought creeps in like that isn't aligned with what I've been taught, then all of a sudden I'll correct myself like quickly, like because I have the tools now, I know what to do. And then I'm like, no, and correct myself.
Yeah. I've actually taught a lot of my clients when they start having, we get those worry, fears, and doubts going through our subconscious mind. And I've actually just told them to just say stop or no.
Yeah.
No, that's not me.
Not true.
And change your thought pattern right away. Because as soon as you change that thought pattern and you tell yourself a different story, a different vibration happens physically in your body. Okay. And then you'll start to build the belief over time, because the belief's not going to change right away, but it's reprogramming and catching those negative thoughts that we're putting in that are going to help us to get there. And then talk to us, Cindy, a little bit about once that happens for you and you reprogram something in your mind. So something comes up and you're like, oh, geez, I'm so tired today. And you decide, no, I've got to show up for people. So I need to be on because I am the queen of joy. And then
I am the queen of joy.
Right. And when you do that, it changes your energy level.
It does.
And so now you can show up differently. But what have you experienced yourself when there's been a negative thought come in? How do you change it so that you can flip it over? How do you talk to yourself?
That's a great question. Well, for me, it is talking to myself. Like, we're our worst enemy. We're not in competition with other people. We're in competition with our head. Like, what happens right between our ears is our worst enemy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you recognize that and you, like you said, you're like, no, that is actually not true. You have to tell your brain. I'm like, that isn't true. We feed ourselves lies sometimes that aren't true.
All the time.
Yeah. I'm like, no, that's not true. And I just flip the thinking. Now, again, I've used affirmations that you've given me over the last 2 years. I've used sticky notes everywhere. I have it on my phone, different things. Like, so, and also I surround myself.
And you've done different things.
Best people in the world in my circle. So I am being filled also by other people. Because that's who I surround myself with, and I'm filling other people. So it's like a mutual thing. And so it's easy to have a positive mindset. And that is really, it doesn't matter what strategy you think you need. If you don't have that foundation for a positive mindset, I don't believe that you could truly be successful in anything, honestly.
Well, because the strategy is just one part of the piece of the puzzle, right? But I also know if you're trying to implement a strategy that doesn't align with who you are, it won't work either, right?
Oh, and we've seen that, right?
Yeah, and anybody that's watching us right now, put in the chat some of the things that you've come up against along your path so that we can help you, because this is really about educating people on what can they do to change. So what are some of the things that you might be either worried about or that you've tried as a strategy didn't work for you? And what are the things that you've learned from it? Or what do you want some advice on? Because this is such a critical part of success. And I have been victim to just trying to find strategies in a new business model that I hadn't been in before. I I fell the same way as most people, and I see it every day. And I see so many people changing their whole business based off of one strategy, and then it's not who they are. It doesn't
Doesn't
even
work.
resonate with who
It
they are.
doesn't work. It's not sustainable if it's not aligned with your core value. And I also want to
And your vision,
reemphasize
and your
that,
vision.
yeah, that a positive mindset is going to help you. Like, let's just say you have the greatest strategy in the world
Mhm.
and an obstacle comes up, which it will in anything in life, right? If you don't have that positive mindset and programming and resilience to get through that obstacle, then it's not a good strategy. I mean, it won't
Mhm.
work. It won't be
Mhm.
sustainable long term.
No, well, I'm going to give an example of when I was in the corporate world and I was coaching a gentleman. He was trying to be successful in a business at a later stage in life. He had been in the business before, but he was really struggling with it. And he was always trying everything new, like trying to do every strategy and coming to me every day. What can I do here? How can I do this? And he was really looking for those strategies. And I sat down with him one day and I just started digging deep inside to find out what was causing all of this. And, I just kept asking questions to get clarity, to get clarity, to get clarity. And he physically changed in front of my eyes. He was always had disheveled hair. His hair settled down. His face started to look younger. And by the end of it, he was glowing because we had been able to dig down far enough inside to find out what was really preventing him and what was causing him all the stresses about what wasn't happening and be able to realign him with his soul's purpose,
I
really,
believe
what
that.
is what it was. And he physically changed. He probably lost at least 5 to 10 years of his age in that one appointment that I had with him. And that's when I really started to realize the power of being able to get into someone's psyche, to get truly into what drives them in their life. Because when you're focused on what your life's purpose is and what
I was
you really want to create, Cindy's lighting up. That's when the magic happens.
That I've been sitting here like busting to talk about that. Almost every call I have with someone is about life purpose. There a lot of them are looking at me like you found your life purpose, so it's easy for you. I didn't always. That's the thing. I was just like them. I was checking all the
Mhm,
boxes
mhm,
and didn't have anything inside. Like I didn't feel fulfilled when I wasn't doing my life purpose. So I've been in those shoes. The reason they're looking at me now is because I have done the work. It's
mhm,
not a magic pill. It takes time. And it takes willing to invest in yourself. And that was the one thing I never even thought about doing until I joined LinkedIn. Honestly, I never even heard the words invest in yourself.
mhm,
Um, it's kind of interesting. So, um, I just believe that everyone already has something so great inside of them.
mhm.
And one tiny tip I gave someone this week was when they were asked me, "Well, how do you find your purpose?" And we didn't have a whole 5 hours to go into that. So I was like, "I'll just really quickly dig down deep and whatever your pain point in your own personal life is, that sometimes can guide you to what your purpose is." That is what I think. What about you?
Yeah, and we all have what I call paradigms, right? Which are the things that we believe about ourselves that have been deeply rooted in something that's probably happened throughout our life. It could be from when we were younger, it could be from when we're an adult or a bad relationship. There's all sorts of different areas that they come from. But deep down, we believe whatever we absorb from that, right? And so, if a child, when they're younger, is told that they're stupid by a parent,
Right.
we start to believe it,
Yeah.
and they
Or
carry that
from
their
their
whole life,
schoolmates, from siblings. It
right?
doesn't go away. It stays rooted in you. And then you
Yeah,
think you're not worthy as an adult.
yeah. And
But
that's
you can deprogram that with
yeah,
Sally, basically, and
yeah.
mindset
And I
training.
have a really fun opportunity for you to do that. But I'm noticing here, I just want to address a couple of the things people are saying. So Melissa's saying promoting my music fully and pitching, it's difficult. Okay, so that's a great paradigm because you're already telling yourself it's difficult. right? You're thinking it's difficult. What if you bring that joy and that passion, Melissa, and that love that you have to creating your music, and knowing that it's going to impact one person, and then knowing it's going to impact 100, and then maybe millions. That's where you're going to get that energy to be able to know that it's not so difficult, because you're going to automatically start attracting. And all it takes is one person to be fully engaged in your music and to say, yes, we're
That's
going
all
to
it
support
takes.
you in this. That's
Yeah.
going to help you to drive forward with that. So I love that you put that on there. So thank you for sharing. I know that's a really
I
personal
also
one to
want to
have to
share
share.
a conversation I had yesterday with someone who, for years, has wanted to put on retreats. So they came to me and
Mhm.
said, you have these awesome retreats. Like, how do I do that? And I, went through a little bit of how you take action on making that happen. And that person said, well, I mean, I'm scared like nobody will show up, or just like one or two people will want it. I said,
Mhm.
guess what? No one's going to show up, because if you don't put it out there, how is anyone going to show up? You have to take action. So,
Yes.
all these strategies, all the greatest intentions in the world, I tell people, fantastic. Now execute.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
if you don't know how, that's where I come in, the action queen.
exactly. And that's why, you know, we posted up when we first started this whole journey that we're on with It's Your Time, because it is your time.
It
But
is. It's
we
past
just
your
had a
time.
conversation just like this, and one thing led to the next, to the next, to the next. And that's what aligned action is. That's when you're using your mindset, your intuition, to be able to pick up on those cues to create what it is that you're really wanting to create. And this has just been magical for both Cindy and I on the reception that we've had with it and the people that we're attracting, because it's the ideal people that we want to be able to support and work with and
Well, we've
have them
been
really
those people
shine.
too, Sally.
So we what?
We've walked in those shoes already. You've left a corporate career,
Yeah.
making a lot of money to do
Mhm.
what you wanted to do with what your heart was telling you, because you don't know how long you're going to live. None of us do, right? So if not now, when, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, when I made the decision about 4 or 5 years ago to leave my more than six figure, multiple six-figure income to go into this type of business, it's because, and I know that I think Mary's put up about the purpose and things like that, is that I knew that there was a better calling for me. I knew there was something that I needed to do that could really make a deep difference for people in their lives. And that's what I started searching for. I started searching to say, what is it? I know it's there, but what is it? And it took me a while to really hone into it. And now it's just like, it just feels perfect. It feels so right. I feel like I'm in the right space. And, Melissa saying, I have a ministry I know I should be doing, not sure how it will transpire, and working on it. And that's where that intuition and those ideas and the people pop up, and you just take the action when it feels right. And that's as easy as it can be.
And
It's
sometimes
when,
you have to start before you're ready too, I have
oh,
found.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
And
you're never really fully ready to make a change, let's be honest. People are afraid of change. They have fears, what if, what if, what if? They fill their minds with all this negativity that propels it to be negative.
and then we also look at circumstances that happen and think that that circumstance is the end of our life. Like, oh my gosh, I lost my job. Somebody didn't value me. Now I don't value myself. And now
Right,
I'm devastated. But
right.
I know for a fact that when anything like that shows up for you, it means that you're ready for the next greatest, better thing for you. This is just
Amen.
pushing you because you didn't push yourself.
It's
You
true.
know that
It's
you
a
were meant to
gift.
move.
It is seriously a gift. I, myself was a job seeker. I have a lot of job seeker friends, and I'm like, it is a gift you just got, because you were in a job that you never would have left because it was bringing in a paycheck, but you were unfulfilled. You didn't even like it. You were complaining every day about it. It was a gift, because now you can
Yeah.
use this time to propel yourself into your soul song.
Mhm.
I mean, how great is that?
Yeah. Oh, I like that. The soul song. You better
Yeah.
put that in the comments for me. The soul song. That's what it needs to be, because when you're actually aligned with your soul, then you're able to just show up as who you truly are. You don't have to be somebody else. You don't have to talk
It
like
doesn't
somebody else.
work That's the other thing we should talk about. It doesn't work. You can't be successful if you're anything but your authentic self. If you want to be the most successful person, be you. Literally, that's what works.
Yeah, and some of the strategies that they teach, do it my way, but that worked for them.
Right.
It may not work for you because it's not you
Right.
aligning with exactly what their process is or what they're talking about or how they're doing it. And so those kinds of things are really important to be aware of. When it comes up to you and it feels so in alignment, absolutely. Then you know that that should be something you should explore. Is it going to be the magic pill? Probably not, but it will probably be one of them along the path. But if you are just looking at a strategy because you're desperate to make money and you're wanting to do something to just get those things, the wheels going, it's got the wrong energy to begin with and it won't work. And
So
so
true.
that's why having the mindset of understanding who you truly are and what you truly are desiring in your life, if you
What
let go
lights
of,
you up?
yeah,
It's
let
time
go of
for,
that other stuff.
I'm going to say ladies, because that's who I
Who's
love
on
to
the
speak
call right
to.
now?
But it is time for ladies to step into their calling.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, there's no time left not to. So if you're not going to step into your calling, then you're just going to live a life of complacency and unfulfillment. Like that to me is not living.
No. No, and I want to come back to one that I think Mary had made a comment about a partner. And if our partners aren't in alignment with us, it doesn't mean that we can't be in alignment with ourselves,
Right.
right? And when we start to become in alignment in who we truly are, what we truly want, and who we can show up as, other people will either change or they'll make a decision.
Right.
Right?
Because you
Just
can't change anyone else, but you can change yourself. And when you change yourself, everything around you changes. Trust me on that.
yeah, yeah, it absolutely does. And so I've worked with a lot of people going through things like that as well. And I've actually worked with couples and, heard them going back and forth in the middle of a meeting about the things that they liked and didn't like about each other. But at the end of the day, the husband actually gave me a reference saying that this really helped him have a better relationship with his wife. And it improved it, right? So like when you think about that, there's so much of this going on, but we also don't really understand all of the behaviors or patterns or paradigms that our partner really has because we buried them so deep that they don't come out, but they come out in how we communicate with each other,
Right.
right? What we're willing to tolerate, what we're not willing to tolerate, because this stems back to their childhood and you don't know what because they never brought it up. But somebody said something to them and then you said it the same way and now it's got me triggered.
So true. It brings you, it brings the person back to something that is so deep rooted. You think it's about you, but it's not. It might be like a second grade memory when someone called them something, or they were picked last for the softball team and like they were told that they were crappy at sports and stuff. And they just internalized that their whole life. And like, you just could trigger that person.
Yeah,
Right.
and you don't really know why. And you
Right.
can trick people at any point in time. But I think, the big part of this whole session today was really to let you know the strategy is not the key. Your mindset is the key to get aligned with the right strategy. Strategies all work. Every strategy can work.
That's true.
But if you're not in alignment with it, it is not going to work for you. So don't invest your money just in a strategy thinking that's going to be that magic pill, is what my message
So
is.
true.
Because I know it goes so much deeper. And for 35 years or more, teaching people how to be successful in business through my corporate career, I mean, I raised up to high levels in organizations that had very large teams working under me and lots of senior managers. I know for a fact that there's paradigms at every level of success. And there's strategies for every level of success. And you get to choose where you choose to focus your mind to be able to attract the strategy and to attract the success that you're looking for, whether it's in your marriage, your love life, your relationship with your family and your children, and or your workplace, or in your purpose, or your mission that you have that's so big and beautiful and you have no idea how it's going to happen. Love working with people that have those
Too.
because it opens up the doors to so many amazing things. And so this is what Cindy and I are working with our clients that are coming in to join us in It's Your Time. So Cindy, do you want to give a quick little overview of that and then we'll turn off the mic.
Okay, sure. Thank you all so much for coming, by the way. It's Your Time is going to be amazing for the women that come and join us. It's a 6-month program. Why? Because it takes 6 months to take you from one point A and the chapter you're at to where you really want to be, where you desire to be, and what you deserve. So there is so much that's going to be going on. Like I said earlier, one thing, we take a before and after picture because we've seen it with multiple people that you're not the same person in 6 months. You'll see results at 3 months, but to get to the next chapter and open the door of the next chapter and be in your next chapter, it takes 6 months. So 6 months of Sally and I twice a week.
Lucky.
Live. Imagine us in your life live twice a week, as well as daily motivational texts from us. As much and some other, amazing things are you get to become an author, telling your story in a book, part of a collaborative book in this program, because we want you to come out different also. And you, at a minimum, you come out an author of your story, and you can use that for your legacy because we're both passionate about creating our legacies. And then we have a podcast that we're going to promote you on. You get to go on, share your story, share your new business, share whatever transforms to help you progress in your next chapter. And then, of course, there wouldn't be this program without the most amazing Cindy retreat. That is my passion, to have the most magnificent high-level retreats where women just completely bond to a new level, which this group already is going to be bonded for the 6 months. So that's going to be like a celebratory retreat. We're going to learn more because I don't know if y'all know, but Sally studies every single morning with a group for 1 hour for the past 4 years. She invests time in her own mindset and mindset training daily. So every day she has new things to share with us. So even on that retreat, we'll be taking it to the next level. So there's just so much to join us about. Am I missing?
We're going to be celebrating their growth, because the growth is what's waiting for you. We all get stuck in these paradigms and these habitual behaviors that we have, or this thinking that we're lesser than. And I don't want any woman to think that they're lesser than anymore.
Amen.
No more. We need to break down that barrier.
Yes.
Back your power.
We are all so worthy. Every single woman I know is so amazing. And they need to know it, feel it, and just do whatever their heart is telling them to do without the fear of not being successful. That's ridiculous. Like, that's holding so many people back.
And we want you to have to find the joy and the love. Honestly, like you'll feel so much more in love with life and the people around you, that's just going to be, the extra icing on the cake, the rainbow in the sky. But it's going to feel so good. And with this community that we're creating as well, you are all going to get to know each other so well, because we're going to be sharing some of the things that have happened in our lives, as well as what we're willing to work on to change in our lives. And that's what's going to help you to understand that there is power in numbers, and there is power in alignment with other women that have walked a similar path. None of our journeys are identical, but we all can relate to each other's struggles or their wins that they've had throughout their life. And that is what's really going to make the difference for every single one of you that choose to invest in yourself. And Cindy and I being able to be there, we're just so stoked.
I can't wait.
And Melissa sums up, girl power, 100%.
Girl power.
So we'll put another link in the comments.
And I can guarantee you more joy.
Crazy lady.
Yes.
But if you're interested in finding out more, reach out to Cindy or myself in the DMs, because we can definitely help you with that. And if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, please make sure that you connect with us so that we can guide you along the path as well, and just give you some more information. At the end of the day, it's going to be your decision. But we know what we're able to help people to achieve. And it's just going to be incredible on how you go into the new year and how next year becomes your year.
Absolutely.
So have a great day, everybody.
Thank you all for coming. Bye.